Yeah. All right. We are live on YouTube. How's everyone doing today? How's it going? I'm back at Bear Island. And oh boy, is the sun out. The sun is right in my face at that very frustrating angle of where it's like right at you. And if you aren't wearing sunglasses, you're going to be blind. Maybe 1 to 2 miles per hour of wind. It's a beautiful day here today in Redwood City, California, where I live. It's 68 degrees, and if you're wondering why I'm wearing my jacket, I'm still a little under the weather. I'll share more about that in a second. But let's see, there was another YouTube app update last night. Did they fix it? It looks like they haven't fixed it. Let me see. Nope, it's still backwards. Come on, YouTube. Come on, it's a simple fix. I'm sure you received so many requests regarding this already. Anyway, welcome to episode number 947 of Navigating the Modern World with Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition. Live today from the San Francisco Bay Trail here in beautiful, sunny, great weather, Redwood City, California, where I live. And today, we're going to be talking about, MAGA'S are beginning to wear down by opposition and also turning on Trump. MAGA'S are beginning to wear down by opposition and beginning to turn on Trump. It is absolutely surreal what I've been seeing lately happening in our country. Absolutely surreal. Hmm. Um, hmm. That's a weird. I can barely see, the sun is in my eye. The trolls are already here. And, I had a comment. I'm going to wake someone coming off the trail. They're probably going to be coming right straight in my direction, and they are. Somebody told me in a comment, I believe it was after my last stream, don't let the trolls get to you. They don't get to me, but their stupidity is part of my content. Their stupidity is part of personal development and, teaching people, don't be this way. Don't be a 30, 40, 50-year-old middle-aged man or woman that comes out on the internet and behaves like a 2-year-old because you're miserable deep inside. You have no self-love, right? Don't come and project your misery on the internet. It makes you look stupid. And I'm here to call that out. I'm here to, again, teach personal development, primarily with a focus on personal improvement. And talking about the stupid shit that happens even while I'm live here is always a lesson learned. It is. It's always a lesson learned. I gotta show you, it's beautiful. I mean, it's a beautiful day. It is, what is it, February 26th, 2025? It's almost the end of February. We're in the middle of winter, and it's like a nice summer day. Now, before we get into why I feel MAGA'S are beginning to wear down. And also turning on Trump. Let me share with you again why, I'm wearing a jacket today, even though it's 68 degrees. I've been still recovering from a major cold I had. I got the cold about 3 weeks ago, and it took me out of commission for about a week. I didn't walk at all or do any content for a week. And then since that time, when I came back a couple weeks ago, since that time, I've been sporadic. I've had good days and bad days, so I'm still recovering. And this year, it's been said that one of the worst flu viruses is spreading ever. It's a very nasty flu bug. And this is something I believe that wasn't covered by, this year's flu shot, which was created last year based on the strains of the flu, that came out last year, right? So I got the flu shot in early January, almost 2 months ago. And then a few weeks afterwards, I got really, really sick. And I'm recovering. So that's why I didn't stream yesterday. And that's why I've been kind of hot and cold. I'm hoping that starting now, I'll be able to be on a more regular and consistent schedule. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So there's your update regarding that. One other thing before we get started here, as you can see, our super chat goals are up again here. If you're watching live and you want to donate $5, if we get a minimum of 5 super chats at $5 a piece based on the goals or the goal that's set, my girlfriend Dawn and I will stream live together publicly, and we'll catch everyone up with what's been going on with her and how incredible of a turnaround it's been for her over the last, I would say, almost 6 months. It's been a world of difference, and I'm not going to speak on behalf of my girlfriend. I'm going to let her do that. It's her story. But she does want to share it because she does want to help as many people as possible that are struggling, with certain things that are difficult to cope with, right? And you use certain coping mechanisms to get by to mask the pain, right? But then it affects you health-wise, severely affects your health in other ways, right? And I can't remember what her name is. I think it was earlier today or yesterday. I think it was earlier today. A 39-year-old actress died after recently having a liver transplant. And she had a liver transplant because she was an alcoholic and basically destroyed her liver before she even hit 40. I mean, this woman, God rest her soul, but she did it to herself, right? She was probably drinking a lot of hard shots. I mean, to kill your liver, the amount of alcohol you've got to be drinking, I mean, is just insane. I mean, it takes a lot. If you moderate alcohol every now and then, no problem. Even a glass of wine a day, not a big deal. But if you're drinking like a fifth of vodka every day or a half a bottle of vodka every day or any hard stuff, right? What do you think is going to happen to your liver? And this woman was a successful actress, made good money, had a decent life, but got caught up, with all the partying bullshit. Oh, I got to fit in, I got to be popular, I got to do this, or else I won't be accepted. If anyone doesn't accept you for who you are, then fuck them. I'd rather be alone than have to do stupid shit to fit in with people or society. It's not worth it. You're worth it. You're worth it, even if you have to be on your own. Junkyard Dog, how you doing? I remember you've been around before. It's been a while, but how are you doing? Junkyard Dog says, hi, Eli. How's it going? Welcome. Great to see you here. It's great to see you here. So, Don has a lot of great stuff to share with people. It's very inspirational. Now, Don and I do have our trolls and haters, and me saying that is not feeding into the trolls. I'm just being honest. We do have trolls and haters that make it part of their content to, just trash us to an audience that loves it when they trash us. So whenever this happens and Dawn shares her story, we're going to focus on the people that, appreciate, the story. And other people that have gone through or may currently be going through what Dawn went through. Okay? We're going to be focusing on those people, and we're going to be like, fuck the people that want to trash someone that's trying to help people that's made mistakes. Like we've all made mistakes. I've made mistakes. Don's made mistakes. We've all made mistakes. And the best lessons are learned from us making mistakes, right? So whether you're here live or on the replay, if you're on the replay, you can send a super thanks. On the replay, if we get at least $25 in donations, even one donation on the replay, at least $25 through the Google system, the super thanks, right? If we get a super thanks of at least $25, then Don and I will schedule that show within the next, 5 to 7 days. So that is that. All right. So let's get to the topic at hand here today, okay? MAGA'S, which are MAGA conservatives. MAGA stands for Make America Great Again. If you haven't heard by now, I'm sure everyone knows what MAGA stands for. Okay? It's Donald Trump's catchphrase stating, when I get in the office, I'm going to make America great again. Like America was fucked up before you came in office, Donnie. And you actually have fucked up America more than every other president combined. More than any other administration combined. It's my opinion, of course. Should be a fact, but it's my opinion. Right? Worst president in history. Worst human being in history. And he's just cognitively not there. I mean, the guy sounds like there's some mental illness going on every day that he speaks from the White House and the Oval Office or wherever he's at. He's speaking live almost every day. The guy loves attention. The guy loves the camera, loves being on live TV, loves having all eyes on him. Right? I've never seen any other president in office okay, have more press meetings than Donald Trump. He's addicted to the spotlight, right? And that totally proves it's all about him, right? And I'm saying this from an unbiased standpoint. Yes, most people that have followed me for a while know I'm a slight left liberal, more down the middle. But I'm reasonable. I'm about what makes sense for everyone, regardless of your political party. And right now, pretty much almost everything about what Donald Trump is doing in office makes zero sense to me. And more people are starting to realize that. Now, obviously, the liberals, aka Democrats, and independents and moderates down the middle, for the most part, have been opposed to anything, almost anything and everything that Donald Trump has said or done, right? But what's happening now? What's happening now? A lot of MAGA'S are pissed off at Trump. Why are they pissed off at Trump? Well, let's refresh your memory before we get to the new stuff. Let's refresh your memory on, what made people decide to vote for Trump over Harris. It was two things that Trump promised. Groceries, lower prices at the grocery store. That hasn't happened. And ending the war in Ukraine. He promised these two things on day one of his presidency, January 20th, 2025. He will end the war in Ukraine, and he will reduce grocery prices immediately. Neither one has happened yet. Now when he's asked about this, he's saying, well, I've only been in office for 1 month. This takes some time. Well, then why the fuck did you say, that if you're elected on day one, you're going to tackle groceries, you're going to lower grocery prices on day one, and you're going to end the war in Ukraine on day one? Why did you promise that to the people that voted for you? Right? Donald Trump lied to Americans to get their vote. Now, to you MAGAs that are live and die Donald Trump, right? To you MAGAs, Donald Trump can come and kill your parents and you'd still support him. That's how fucking pathetic you are, right? There are people that are so diehard Donald Trump that if Donald Trump, sent the military to kill your parents, this is for example purposes, some of you MAGAs are so brainwashed you would say, I still love Trump, no matter what. Trump had a good reason to kill my parents. That's how you guys and gals are coming off. That's very unreasonable. You're being very unreasonable. You're just basically giving the guy a fucking free pass, no matter what he does. You're not holding him accountable. Heck, you're not even holding yourselves accountable. You MAGAs have never held yourselves accountable. So how the fuck I expect you or any other liberals or people down the middle expect you to hold anyone else accountable like Trump when you've never even held your own selves accountable? I'm from Ireland. Hi, Eli. Honky tonk man. Honky tonk man, you're trolling. Honky tonk man, you're probably trolling from a simulcast. And you want me to interact with you so that way your audience stays engaged and donates to you, right? It's all good, honky tonk man. Do what the fuck you want to do. It's all good. So, let's see here. So yeah, these MAGAs are unreasonable people. Because that's the way they stay afloat. That's the way that these people continue to survive. They do bullshit things that they know they're doing, right? Like, for example, let me give you an example here right now. Okay, there are people that have been rebroadcasting my streams for years. And I say, whatever. I'm just saying this as an example. They feel entitled to do it, right? They're like, it's fair use or whatever, right? And deep down inside, they know it's wrong. They know they're stealing. But they also know that there's not much I can do about it or anyone can do about it because copyright laws are flawed, like I've said before. If you sue someone, well, if you file a copyright takedown on someone, they file a counter notification, then you have 10 days to sue them. You can sue them in a small claims copyright court, which they have 60 days to, withdraw from small claims copyright court. Okay? They can choose to, withdraw, right? Which then forces you with your only option left to sue them in a federal copyright court, but there's another caveat to it. You can't sue someone in a federal copyright court unless you have previously filed a copyright certificate or filed and been approved for a copyright certificate from the United States Copyright Office. So while you're live right now, there's nothing you can fucking do. There's nothing you can do to protect your content. They can do whatever the fuck they want because the system is flawed, right? So you people that are rebroadcasting, you know who you are. You're pieces of shit, and I really don't care. I'm not coming after you. There's no need. There's no reason to. I mean, there's a need to, but there's no reason to, right? There's nothing you can do about it until the laws are changed. And what these people do is what Trump is doing. They're exploiting flaws in our system. They're exploiting the fucking laws in our system. And they're basically being abusive to people that are not within their part. The people that have been doing these rebroadcasts are MAGA'S because they have the same outlook as the MAGA'S. They are MAGA'S. They've said they're MAGA'S, right? But now let's switch on over. This is all just petty stuff. Okay? It is serious, but it's petty compared to what I'm about to say right now. Here's the biggest deal, okay? People don't sue here in Ireland or Europe. I think it's a USA thing. Well, if people are violating your rights or stealing your content that you work hard to create, you have the right to protect it. But the laws are flawed, sir. The laws are flawed to the point of where the people that steal your content have more rights to it than you do. Now, there are things that I've done. I've copyrighted my Coach Eli professional image that I use in my thumbnails. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go offline for 1 second or maybe 5 seconds. You'll see my image come up. The people that may be rebroadcasting me, when they show this and show my professional picture, I can now sue them for copyright infringement in a federal copyright court. I can bypass the whole YouTube system, bypass small claims copyright court, and go right to federal court and say, okay, you've been, showing my professional image. I've asked you to not do it. This is copyrighted by the U.S. Copyright Office. Okay? I do not give you permission to use this. Now you have fair use rights, but you rebroadcasting an entire stream is not fair use. And have you done any criticism or commentary on my professional image? No. Right? So, be right back. Check this out. Okay, we are back live. We are back live. Let me know if you can hear me and see me clearly. If you can hear me and see me, let me know. I'm not trolling, just shake, rattle, and rolling. All right, honky tonk man, whatever. Whatever. It is what it is. I mean, whatever. Only rich people sue because it costs so much money. Well, here's the thing. You can represent yourself. And suing someone in federal court is only going to cost you about $600. And you can, pro se represent yourself. And if you have enough evidence, you can win. Or at the very least, anyone that you take to, federal court is going to be shitting in their pants. Because they could lose, and they could lose it all. Because in federal court, you can sue for whatever amount you want. In small claims copyright court, I believe each claim of copyright is limited to $30K. In federal court, there's no limit to what you can sue for. You can bankrupt somebody. And all it takes is to get the right judge that believes you more than believes them, right? Or accepts your evidence more than theirs. A judge having a good day for you and a bad day for the defendant, and you lose. Super fan. I would be afraid to represent myself because the law is so complicated. That's why Trump got away with all of his crimes. He could afford good lawyers. No, that's not why Trump got away with all that. You think Trump got away with all this shit because of lawyers like Rudy Giuliani, who almost got disbarred because of Trump? Can you please explain to me how you feel Trump basically got away with all this shit because he has good lawyers? Or is it because they knew he was running for office, and then once he got into office, he pardoned all the shit that was affecting him? If Trump didn't get reelected, he would probably be in jail right now. Come on, dude. Let's be real here. I bet Rudy Giuliani regrets representing Trump. Why did he do it? Because it was an opportunity for him to make some money. It was an opportunity for him to be in the spotlight, right? But Rudy Giuliani knew all along how Trump works and what he was going to have to do to represent Trump and do things that are not only unethical but illegal and put his law license on the line. Rudy made a settlement. He's keeping his condo and personal property. Of course, he lost a lot because of Trump, but he still has his law license. He could have lost that. Do you think Trump gave him the money to afford the settlement? Maybe, maybe not. How are we going to know? How are we going to know? Should we, have the IRS audit him before Trump dismantles the IRS? Another thing, Trump is now trying to shut down 120 IRS offices nationwide here in the U.S. Trump is trying to dismantle our tax system and make it into a tariff system. Another thing, okay, let's talk about yesterday. Yesterday, the House of Representatives in Congress voted to allow Trump's budget plan to move forward. What does that mean? What does that mean? Medicaid is going to have cuts. The people that are low income or poor that are dependent on Medicaid for their health benefits are going to either lose their benefits or their benefits are going to be tremendously cut back to the point of where they're still not going to be able to afford, to pay any differences that Medicaid doesn't cover that used to cover. Also, we're looking at food stamps for people that are so poor that they can't afford food, right? People that are starving and hungry that, depend and rely on food stamps to survive. That's where they're cutting right there, right? And I have to ask you MAGA'S, once again, we talked about this earlier on in the week. I have to ask you MAGA'S once again. You MAGA'S in the red states have more poor people than are out here where I live in California, blue state. The red states have the majority of the poor people. The majority of people that use these benefits, food stamps, and Medicaid are from red states in the Midwest and the South. Yet you motherfuckers are out there saying, go Doge, go Musk, go Trump. We need to have these cutbacks and we need more, we need to have, more tax credits for everyone, but the rich is going to benefit the most, right? So what is this? What was it? 4.5 trillion in tax cuts over the next 10 years? And this plan, from what I hear, is going to increase our deficit by $19 trillion. And people are not seeing this. I don't know what to say. Let me see here. Donald Trump fucked Rudy Giuliani over. And he doesn't care. It doesn't matter. Okay? But it's interesting what I'm seeing now. I think I'm only going to do 3 out of the 3.5 miles. I'm not going to curve to the right over here. My girlfriend and I have an early day tomorrow. She has a doctor's appointment 20 minutes away from home. So I'm not going to do the last quarter mile out and back. We're just going to turn around and make it 3 miles. Give me a second here. All right. We're going to wait over here so I can get some people walking by on both sides, so we want to give them some space. I think Rudy gave a speech at the RNC convention in July. I think he is still supporting. Of course he's supporting Trump. Of course he's supporting Trump. That's how stupid he is. I mean, when somebody fucks you over at such a great level like that, regardless of your political party, this is just, common sense, right? Somebody really fucks you over that bad and you're still their friend. Like, you don't have to talk shit about them. You don't have to be enemies. You just got to part ways, right? How can you support someone that basically has dismantled your livelihood. Now, here's the thing. In all fairness, Rudy Giuliani decided to represent him, and he knew what he was getting into, right? And I bet you Rudy Giuliani didn't think he was going to have to face the repercussions that he did, right? Looks very flat for miles where you are. I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area. I'm on the San Francisco Bay Trail, part of the SF Bay Trail here in Redwood City, California, where I live. But yes, we're 13 feet above sea level, so. No, Rudy Giuliani made his own bet. So, I mean, he only has himself to blame. But to still support Donald Trump after all this, you know, it's asinine to me. Wow. Are you near Alcatraz? Yes. I'm 30 minutes south from Alcatraz, and I've been in Alcatraz in my younger days. Let's walk on the dirt here for right now until we have some people pass us. This is actually good for the feet. Anyway. But I'm very concerned. I'm very concerned about the people that may end up losing access to Medicaid and food stamps. This is going to make our problems so much worse. You know, Trump is saying, oh, these people need to get jobs, and, you know, they need stricter qualifications, you know, for these programs. We're wasting so much money because people are living off the system. Well, some of them are. There are a lot of people that play the system, but it's not at the point of where we need to restructure the whole system. Restructuring the whole system would destroy the whole system altogether for everyone, and everyone would pay the price, including people, you know, that don't use Medicaid or food stamps. Like everyone's going to pay the price, because a lot of these people are going to be dying. They're going to be more homeless. I mean, if you think the homeless situation is bad right now, you know, under, you know, this situation here, it's just going to be so much worse. We're all going to pay the price for it. We're all going to pay the price for it, one way or another, right? And then another thing, you got Donald Trump now offering this gold card where people that have $5 million to buy this gold card can fast track getting citizenship. Because Trump wants to basically attract rich people to come in here and, you know, run great companies that make lots of money. And if we still have a tax system, pay more taxes into our tax system, right? And then he's saying that, you know, he thinks so many people will buy this gold card to come into the country, right? He even mentioned them as oligarchs. He was asked about the oligarchs, you know, by the press in the conference room, and Trump was just laughing, you know. You know, he said, oh, some of these oligarchs, they don't have as much money as they used to, but I still think they can afford $5 million. I mean, you listen to this guy, you listen to Trump talking every day, and it just seems like, to me, his mental state is declining, right? These people, these MAGA'S, were criticizing Joe Biden for having dementia. And I'm not saying they were wrong about that, right? Right? I'm not saying they were wrong about that, but it was rude the way they came at Joe when Joe did nothing but support these people, and Joe Biden's administration was there to support him and help him, and they did the right thing for all Americans, not just for the liberals or Democrats, right? Yep. You are so lucky to be there. Ireland is a bit boring. It's only as boring as you want it to be, dude. It could be boring here for me if I didn't make something out of it. I mean, let me give you a little bit of advice that might help you see things through a different light or a different lens, right? It's all about how you see the world wherever you live. It's all about having self-love and self-respect and just appreciating where you're at and just appreciating to be alive, right? I know it sounds cliche. I know it sounds stupid. I know it may sound kind of weird, right? But that's what I do here. That's what I do. Whether people love me or hate me, whether people believe in me or not, the bottom line is I'm here to uplift people. I'm here to help people with their personal development, specifically personal improvement. Because we can all get better. We can all get a little better each and every day. And if people are asking, what do politics have to do with personal development and personal improvement? The fucking answer is everything. Because everything is affected by politics. And I've been quiet for years. Other Democrats, independents, and moderates have been quiet for years. And now we're finally stepping up and we're starting to make noise. The point of where the MAGA'S and the Republicans are starting to get scared and pissed off. They're starting to see, oh shit, we've been dominating the internet with right-wing propaganda bullshit for the last 10 years. They have been, right? I mentioned earlier this week, Joe Rogan's podcast was overtaken by the Midas Touch Network, a left-leaning, progressive type of news media group. Actually, I saw the other day that Joe Rogan's podcast, according to the list of podcast rankings on the Spotify website, Joe Rogan's now number 3. So I'm seeing a big shift here where MAGA'S and Republicans are starting to lose the dominating share of the internet they've been holding on to for the last 10 years. And it's almost like they don't even know what hit them. Joe Rogan was like, who the hell is Midas Touch? Joe Rogan is trying to figure out what happened here. Why did this happen? And next thing you know, Joe Rogan starts to be more reasonable again. After he got surpassed by Midas Touch Network last week, he changed his tune. Instead of doing all this conspiracy theory bullshit, now he's starting to be more reasonable because he's seeing that, oh boy, the majority of the audience now is progressive. It's flipping, right? I'm telling you, by the end of 2025, the playing field on the internet regarding politics, regarding dominance of political party, it's going to level off. And by 2026, I'm telling you, the liberals and the people down the middle, the moderates and independents, they're going to surpass the amount of people on the right on the internet because we've had enough. Now, I've been here all along, but I've been getting dominated. I've been getting crushed by these people because there's just so many more of them and far fewer of me. But now more of me are coming out to play. Figure of speech, they're coming out to play. And we're leveling off the playing field. So that's why I say in the title, the MAGA'S are basically, things are starting to overturn for the MAGA'S and the opposite end. There's a major shift that's happening here. I see it on Facebook. I see it on YouTube. I'm seeing it on Spotify. I'm seeing the media, right? I'm seeing the media that the first month Trump was in office, even CNN was trying to suck up to Donald Trump. Now, it seems like even the people that have been sucking up to Donald Trump are saying what Trump and Musk are doing makes zero sense. Musk is destroying our country. He's basically going after, government agencies that are a necessity to run our country safely and securely. He's going after programs that are extreme necessities for almost 100 million Americans. That's almost one third of the population. And then he has the nerve. There was a cabinet meeting, I believe it was earlier today, and Musk had the nerve to say, we wrongfully canceled Ebola research or something like that, right? Which is like an important disease that we need to be protected from. We're sorry that we accidentally canceled Ebola. The Ebola program. I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. Some people pronounce it Ebola, some people pronounce it Ebola. It's both, but I believe it's spelled with an E. It starts with an E. Okay? So, Elon Musk, you're the richest fucking man in the world, right? You're supposed to be a smart man and you're acting like a stupid 2-year-old. And you're basically canceling programs before you even research them, right? It's either that or he's canceling them on purpose, knowing that he's going to have to reinstate them because why? It gets more attention. You see, what I think is really going on, like I've been saying all along, is I think Musk and Trump are trolling everyone and they're doing things that they know they're going to have to correct. But initially they're doing the wrong thing because it gets them more attention on social media and mainstream media. Because every single day since Trump's been in office, every single day since January 20th, it's been about Musk and Trump, Musk and Trump, Musk and Trump, Musk and Trump, Musk, Trump, Trump, right? Do you guys see what's happening here? Love me, hate me, whatever. Your political party's irrelevant here. This is about marketing and branding. The President of the United States, and let's call him his First Lady because, Trump's wife isn't the First Lady. The First Lady is fucking Elon Musk. Because Elon Musk is Trump's bitch, right? It's true. Let's be real about it. Everyone knows it, right? Even MAGA'S are upset. There have been town hall meetings. There have been town hall meetings throughout, many different states in the country with conservatives that voted for Trump that are angry about the programs that Trump is putting out there and the representatives in their areas are presenting to them at their town hall meetings. And people are booing Elon Musk and Donald Trump. MAGA Republicans, people that voted for Trump, are booing Elon Musk. When they boo Musk, they boo Trump. And they're booing Trump even outside of Musk. The tides are turning. Why? If you don't think the tides are turning, then I don't know where you've been. You've not been paying attention as closely as I have. The tides are turning. The tides are turning. I think Trump has known all along that even his own people that voted for him eventually would turn on him. So Trump has been like, I got to execute these programs as quickly as possible to get the tax cuts in place because I could get impeached. I could be assassinated. Anything can happen, right? I got to get everything in place before my own people turn on me, because in order for Trump to do what he wants to do for himself and other oligarchs, the rich people, and give them more tax cuts, right? He has to take advantage of his own people. He has to screw over his own people, right? And again, love me or hate me, the truth of the matter is this. You MAGAs are going to be affected more than I will be. Listen, I'm not going to be affected by the insurance, okay? Because I'm not on Medicaid. No one in my family is on Medicaid. And my family is fortunate to have done well to be able to afford good insurance. And we've worked other jobs to the point of where we've got great benefits. My mother has a great pension working for the county of San Mateo, government agency. She retired about 10 years ago. My aunt's done very well as a sole proprietor, running her own business for many decades. So it's not going to affect myself or my family. But I still care, because I care about the people that are going to be fucked over, which are primarily you MAGAs. It's you MAGAs that are going to be primarily fucked over by all this. It's not going to really affect me. But I still care about these programs being there for you folks that need them. And you want to challenge me and call me a liberal sack of shit. You want to call me a libtard. You want to call me a far left extremist. When at the end of the day, I'm going to be fine. Primarily because of where I live and my family coming here at a younger age, buying property when they were cheaper. And that's what happens to a lot of people out here in some of these blue states, right? We have very good family values. Good families come out here, work hard, establish an estate, and hands it down from generation to generation. A lot of these MAGAs don't have that. That's another reason why they hate us liberals, because a lot of you MAGAs say, oh, you liberals think that you're smarter than us. Well, we are. Because of one thing. We are reasonable. And us being reasonable, part of that is taking your feelings, thoughts, and needs into consideration. You folks are selfish. You don't take my feelings, wants, and needs into consideration regarding anything that benefits you. Regarding anything that your president puts out, right? Regardless of who's in office, the way I look at it, as a slight left liberal, more so down the middle, maybe more moderate, but I'm slight left liberal, I'm a registered Democrat. When it comes to me, I care about everyone's well-being, including the MAGAs. And when you MAGAs are you MAGAs are about to get fucked by your own president. And then at that point, you're still going to be like, Trump forever. Yeah, Trump. Live and die Trump. Right? Like I said at the beginning of the show. If Trump ordered the military to murder your parents, legally, some of you guys would still say, oh, he had a legitimate reason to murder my parents. That's how you guys think. That's the logic you guys think. That's what makes us liberals or moderates upset. That's why we call you guys stupid. Because you would sell your own family or sell your own souls to please Trump. Right? And is it really about pleasing Trump? Or is it about because you haven't had a voice all these years? And Trump is giving you some fake temporary voice? AOC is rumored to be thinking of running for president in 2028. I would support her. I don't know if I would. Listen, I don't hate AOC, but I'm not the biggest AOC fan either. And I'm a slight left liberal saying that. I'll tell you why. AOC makes some good points, but I think AOC has a lot of radical feminism in her, right? AOC is a bit too radical for me. She's an extremist, right? She's a Democrat. She's on the left, but she's far left, right? I'm more centered, right? Now, I respect what you're saying, but see, here's the thing. You're a liberal supporting AOC, right? We call her AOC because her name is too damn long, okay? You know that, right? How is AOC different from someone like Kamala? Kamala's not an extremist. Kamala is a very grounded and very fair and equal woman. And she's not going out on the internet telling illegal immigrants to run from ICE. Now, I understand why AOC is doing that, because she's mad at Trump. But that's not making the situation any better. It's making it worse. It's also putting her in a position that can get her sanctioned by the government. She's a government official in Congress that is basically telling people to hide from ICE, and basically that's breaking the law. Now, Trump is breaking the law, but, you know, is the right thing to do to get back at Trump? Is the right thing to do to break the law because Trump is breaking the law initially? At some point, someone has to draw the line and say, you know what, Trump, you're breaking the law, and this is wrong. But in my opinion, telling illegals to hide from ICE, and you know why she did that? This is what pisses me off more about AOC. Because I used to be very supportive of her, but what she's been doing lately is no different. Here's where you folks know I'm reasonable. I talk shit about Kash Patel, who's a Republican that was trash talking everyone on the internet for fame on the internet. He wrote a book, Government Gangsters. He was saying the government's a deep state program, mentioned a bunch of names, right? He made a lot of money on the internet, right? AOC's doing the same thing that Patel did. AOC has millions of followers on the internet. And she loves the attention. You don't think she loves the attention? And listen, I'm a liberal. Slight left. She's liberal, right? This is where I'm saying someone in my own party is going too far. Kamala Harris would never, ever, ever go on the internet or mainstream media, legacy media, and tell illegal aliens to hide from ICE. Joe Biden would have never done that. Honestly, AOC did that. Number one, she's Hispanic, and she's triggered over Trump illegally trying to fuck with the illegal aliens, right? Or basically, maybe not even illegally, but in an abusive manner, right? He's not handling it as best as possible, right? And that triggered AOC because it's her own people, right? Number two, when she does this shit on social media, her numbers go up, her revenue goes up, her popularity goes up amongst her people and other extremists, right? Further contributing to the problem than being a part of the solution, right? I'm sorry. This is where I'm a fair and reasonable person. The one thing about my party that I could never stand is radical feminism or any type of extremism, right? Extremism, right? One way or another. Left-wing extremists, right-wing extremists. I cannot stand extremism one way or the other, right? AOC has become an extremist. Maybe she was one all along, but I didn't start seeing it as clearly as I have lately, right? Now, maybe AOC is saying, look, we've had people like Kash Patel and other right-wing propaganda YouTubers on the internet dominating the internet for years. And us liberals couldn't get any attention until now. So she's like, okay, fuck it. If Patel does this, then I'll pull some shady shit too and get more fame. And honestly, I think that AOC telling illegals to run and hide from ICE is pretty shady. And that's me going against my own party. Suppose it's AOC versus Vance in 28. Who do you think would get more of the independent vote? And will black voters keep drifting to the Republican Party? I doubt that. Black voters are always going to be more left-leaning because African Americans are about progression. Because you know how the white supremacists, the white supremacists, right? The male white supremacists are the ones that are anti-progression, including for black people, right? African Americans, right? AOC versus Vance, that's not going to happen. I don't think it's going to be. Will Vance run? He'll probably run. He'll probably run. But we'll have to see. It could be DeSantis. DeSantis is a possibility. I'm not a big fan of DeSantis either. But I think that the Democratic Party over the next 4 to 8 years is going to be Gavin Newsom. Like Trump says, Newscum. I'll tell you this, if we get Gavin Newsom as the president, this country will be fixed. The deficit and the budget will be balanced like Bill Clinton did it back in those days. I could tell you this, Gavin Newsom is our best bet to fix all this shit because he cares about everyone. California is one of the most diverse states in the country. And we honestly 40% of our state is Republican. We have a lot of Republicans. We just have more Democrats. Right? We have the high-tech world out here. And between Northern and Southern California, we have the biggest companies on the planet. We have the 5th largest economy in the world on our own here in California, right? In essence, Gavin Newsom is like a president running his own country. That's why Trump doesn't like him. Trump knows that Newsom is a big threat. All of these MAGAs hate Newsom. They call him gruesome Newsom, Newscum, whatever. Call him every name in the book. He's heard all that shit since he was a little kid. He even talked about it, right? I've seen many videos where Newsom was interviewed, right? Newsom has the looks. Of course, he's a good-looking dude. He's a good-looking dude. Now, a straight man can say that about another straight man without getting ridiculed by the MAGA saying, oh, if you compliment another man, you must be homosexual. No. See, that's what these MAGAs will do. They'll say, oh, Eli, you're a homosexual because you gave another straight man a compliment that he's good. He is a good-looking dude. My girlfriend says he's a good-looking dude. That doesn't mean my girlfriend wants to bang Gavin Newsom. That doesn't mean I'm a gay man. But these MAGAs are like, these MAGAs don't like anything professional because they're unprofessional. These MAGAs do not have the brain capacity to compete professionally. So they got to act like little fucking kids and get their attention that way through their content on the internet that would never happen on legacy media. If it wasn't for the internet, these MAGAs would have zero voice ever. Ever. Honky Tonk Man, Gavin Newsom lost a lot of faith. Lost a lot of tech companies due to one Niner LDS. A lot of tech companies moved to Florida, no state income tax. Okay. Well, when you have no state income tax, how does that affect other programs in the state? Sure, we've lost some companies here that have moved out of California, but a lot of them are still here, right? If you cut out state taxes from California, a lot of programs are out of business. A lot of vital and necessary programs that we need, okay, are done. Here in California, I believe we're the only state that, has a special summer blend for gas, because we've got the most cars on the road and we have the biggest smog issue. And it's more so down in Southern California, because in Southern California, the way that the topography is, you've got the surrounding mountains where the smog will rise up and then it'll hover and stay around the mountains for a while. It basically stays settled for a while. So, we've had to come up with programs here. Give me a second. We've had to come up with programs here to protect the environment. So, there are a lot of special programs that need to be funded here that are necessary here but unnecessary, at least in other parts of the country, until they expand at the level California's expanding. So, if companies want to leave because they have to pay state taxes, anywhere you go that doesn't have state taxes, if it's not affecting the state now, it will affect them at some point. Whenever you cut out taxes and stuff like that, I gotta go back. There's a guy coming over here. Whenever you cut funding to anything, it affects something else that's crucial or critical. This is what a lot of the MAGA'S can't seem to understand or figure out. Florida is not in the deficit. Florida has no debt. Well, maybe for now. That could change. Now, Florida's got a good economy. Florida is a similar lifestyle like California. Not quite, but they have nice beaches and good weather for the most part. Now, they do deal with more, hurricanes and stuff and tornadoes, and we don't deal with that out here, which is good. But then you also take into consideration those natural disasters that happen every now and then. No, go ahead. I'm not waiting for you. I'm waiting for you, sorry. There's a car that was waiting for me and I was stopped looking at the sign. They couldn't tell. Those natural disasters cost a fortune. And yes, they've gotten federal aid for it, just like California has. But we still have to pay part of the bill here in California for what happened, down in the Palisades fire and all those fires down there. Florida has the Southern Pentagon Command Center. It could be its own country. I don't know, dude. I don't think Florida's economy could survive on its own. I think only California could survive on its own without the federal government. That's your opinion. You're entitled to it. Respect. But Florida does not have the economy that we have here in California. People hate California for a reason. We have the best economy, the best weather, some of the safest areas to live in, and that's why it's so expensive to live out here. The best place on earth is going to cost the most to live. And I'm saying that with humility, but I'm saying that because it is what it is. Right? And that's why people have chastised me that are in the Midwest and the South. Oh, you're You're a liberal sack of shit from the San Francisco Bay Area. Well, maybe I am a liberal sack of shit. Maybe I am a libtard, but guess what? I enjoy where I live. And it's safe, and the weather is great, and we hardly have any natural disasters except for an occasional earthquake, right? You got to deal with hurricanes, tornadoes, more disasters, violence, etc., right? I heard California's economy is like a top country. It is. California's economy is the 5th largest economy in the world, brother. I think you're a guy, right? It is. But see, when you're talking with people that are on the right from the Midwest and the South that are jealous and wish they could be here in California, they're going to try to make their shit sound better than ours. And I'm not coming out here trying to make our shit sound better than anyone's. I'm just stating what's actually happening. I'm being neutral and diplomatic and saying, look, I just so happen to live here. I was born and raised here, and there's no other place I'd rather be. But the truth of the matter is that this is the best economy in the country right here in California. That's why Gavin Newsom is practically acting like the president of his own country, right? And then Trump again, is now saying that he can't wait for Canada to become our beloved 51st state. Go fuck yourself, Trump. Our beloved 51st state. And then he calls... Give me a second here. Hold on a second here. And then Trump calls Trudeau Government Trudeau instead of the Prime Minister, which is the President of Canada, right? Trump, you are a big piece of shit. You're sitting there making fun of Canada, one of our best allies, right? And you're telling Trudeau to become our beloved 51st state, and then instead of calling him the president or prime minister of his country, you're calling him Governor Trudeau because you're like, when he becomes the 51st, when Canada becomes the 51st state, they'll get all the protection that we have and all this and that, right? And then he would, in essence, be a governor because he'd be within the state, right? What a piece of shit Trump is. What a piece of shit, man. What a troll, man. This guy's the biggest troll in the history of this world. He's a demented, deranged, delirious troll. That's just so funny. You would like Thailand, man. The weather is good and the US dollar goes far. Well, I bet. California couldn't defend itself military-wise. Florida could. Well, how do you know? We've got a great military presence here in California. You know, the Air Force, the training center, I believe, is in Miramar near San Diego. That's where the movie Top Gun was based out of. So we got the Air Force, we got great Army, we got great Marines, and we're on the Pacific Coast, we got the Navy. Now, you've got water over there too, so you got Navy too, right? I get that. Maybe it's similar, but I wouldn't say that the military in Florida is better than the military in California. But here's the thing: this is U.S. military. Why are we trying to divide states? Why are we trying to divide states and now make it a comparison on which state is the strongest? I get why we're talking about this. We're breaking it down. We're having a conversation. But why has it had to go to this point? Why has it had to go to this point? Just walking a little bit more. I got a little more time. We are at 75 minutes, an hour and 15 minutes. This is the dog park. Got the front light on here. Just what if scenarios? Oh, yeah, it's a good point. I mean, Florida's a strong state. Florida is, pretty close to California, but not quite. And the economy is nowhere nearly at the size of California. Also, inflation here in California, at least housing-wise, is far greater than Florida. Yes, there are some $1 million+ homes everywhere, including Florida. But here in California, especially in the San Francisco Bay Area, even a little tiny shack in the back of someone's house is $1 million. You should watch Hillbilly Elegy. I think Vance is going to get the nomination in 28. He's even worse than Trump. Vance is actually smart. Well, yeah, let's talk about Vance for a second before I go off the air. So you guys all remember J.D. Vance. Used to trash talk Trump back in like 2015, 2016, right? 2017. He used to trash talk Trump. And now Trump chooses him as a very young vice president. Why do I think Trump chose Vance? Because he knew that Vance would be a good lapdog and Trump could focus more of his attention on Musk. Like the real vice president is Elon Musk, because Vance is being ignored. Vance is just going out there and just having a good old time doing whatever, and then he goes and talks. And listen, Vance is a smart dude, but he has to say stupid shit to please Trump. Look, he's not going to get the support from Trump or the nomination of the Republican Party to run as president in 2028 if he doesn't suck up to Trump and do stupid shit that he doesn't agree with or believe in. So, in essence, it's like the corporate world. In order to get promoted and move on, you have to compromise your own fucking values, your own fucking morals, values, and ethics, and do stupid, dumb, unethical shit, sometimes illegal shit, to stay on the good side of the person that controls the fate to your future. How fucking ridiculous is that? That's why I left the corporate world over 15 years ago. I didn't want to put the fate of my future, the fate of my success, in someone else's hands that could choose to promote someone that's far less qualified than me just because they're friends with that person, even though I've busted my ass and earned it and more qualified for the same position. This is the same shit in government. Government is the biggest corporation on the planet. They created the corporate structure, for Christ's sake. Okay, let me move out of the way here. There's somebody coming on the sidewalk. J.D. Vance is a smart guy, but he can't be himself as long as, he's supporting and working alongside criminals like Trump and Musk. And J.D. Vance, honestly, I think would do better as a liberal Democrat. Let's see. People are pissed off. Judges are pissed off. The judges are now trying to hold Trump in contempt for not following, you know, the temporary restraining orders and orders to reinstate, payments that have been halted for certain programs. Trump is basically, he's been ignoring other branches of government that are there as part of the checks and balances of the system that's been created. If we can't even hold the president accountable, what's the point of having the Supreme Court? Right? If the president can't be held accountable for his actions, his unlawful actions, then why should anyone be held accountable for any unlawful action? But Trump wants to get rid of illegal aliens that are criminals, right? Yet he doesn't look at himself in the fucking mirror to see he's the biggest fucking criminal out of all of them, out of everyone. This is why liberals think you MAGAs are dumb. The reason why we think you MAGAs are dumb is because you guys voted in a criminal, a 34-time felon, convicted felon, sentenced, and he was sentenced to no jail time and no fines, because he's going to be in office and he can't run the presidency from a jail cell. Well, you can still find him. But no, Trump, has put people in place to basically rule in his favor, right? To basically make unorthodox decisions, right? To let him get away with murder practically, right? Well, MAGA's, your president, and he's my president too, even though I don't want to consider him my president. Your president is murdering our country right now with the shit he's doing. And I'm grateful and thankful to those MAGAs and other people that are stepping up and speaking out. It's time to come out here on the internet and speak up and speak out. More and more liberals and moderates, people down the middle and on the left, are coming out and challenging the right-winged bullshit propaganda that's been dominating the internet, including here on YouTube for the last 10 years. And these MAGAs and these creators that are more right-leaning, regardless of the type of genre of content they create, they're beginning to feel the loss. They're losing revenue. They're losing viewers. They're not getting the same traction they have been. And they're desperately trying to cling on to it. But guess what? The pendulum is swinging the other way. And it's going to keep swinging the other way. And that's why I'm very invested in this right now. And this is part of personal development. This is part of helping people better learn to handle these situations that affect all aspects of their lives, personally and professionally. Thank you to the 20 people that are here right now. Appreciate you. Please consider hitting the super chat or super sticker or sending a donation, Cash App, PayPal. We would greatly appreciate it. We work hard to do what we do. We put a lot of effort in this because we want to help as many people as possible, so we would appreciate, any donations to help the cause. I'm still hoping for AOC tax those billionaires and make them pay their fair share. Well, as far as taxing the billionaires and making them pay their fair share, I'm all for that. But as far as AOC goes, I don't hate AOC. And I think at the end of the day, she means well. But to be honest with you, I think her execution is shitty. Because I think she's doing what many MAGAs have done, and she's not a MAGA. She's basically creating controversy for her YouTube channel and her Instagram and all her social media presence. Because guess what? Whatever she's making in Congress is far less than what she's making online. And if she ever, leaves politics, she's going to have something to fall back on. She could be, a reporter. She could she does have her own channel. She could basically talk politics on her own channel, and she has resources, right? You see, this is the thing. Nothing wrong with her having a YouTube channel or a social media presence. Nothing wrong for anyone. We'll wrap up with this. Nothing wrong with anyone having a social media presence and making money. But you got to do it for the right reason. And you can't sell your soul or do things that are not right to get more attention, so that way you have more eyes on you. More eyes equals more views equals more ad revenue, right? And then you sell more merch with the more people you build on your audience. Even Chris Como said the other day, AOC has millions of subscribers. More than Como, and Como deserves more because he's real. But guess what? Como can be controversial, but Como is very neutral. He doesn't go to the extreme one way or the other. And that's part of the reason why I feel he hasn't grown as fast as AOC or some of these other right-wingers, because these people create extreme controversy that gets people to tune in and start to go back and forth and she sucks them in. In essence, she's sucking these people in to an agenda that she may not even truly believe in. Do I really even think that AOC really wants to come out and say, hey, to all you illegal aliens out there, because of what Trump is doing, go run and hide from ICE, right? Do I think she really wanted to say that? No. Do I think the reason why she said that was for social media traction? Absolutely. And that to me is a sellout. That to me is a fucking sellout. Anyone that does shit like that is selling out. They're selling themselves out for clicks on YouTube, right? I've dealt with many people on this fucking platform for the last 7 years that have sold every last little bit of their fucking soul for YouTube views, ad revenue, super chats, and donations. And then these same people cry like little bitches, even the men cry like little bitches when they face the repercussion of their fake actions, right? When judgment day comes because of what they've done, and they're dealing with the repercussions of their actions, these people cry like a little bitch. All right, I got to run. 89 minutes, an hour and 29 minutes, almost an hour and 30 minutes. 16 in the box, 6 thumbs up. Please smash the thumbs up. Please share this out. So we got a light right here, so let's take advantage of that, right? See that? Ooh. We can even go this way. See the light? That's better, right? See the light shining on me now, right? All right, should be back tomorrow for another walk, hopefully a little bit earlier in the afternoon. Probably from the trail here or another trail locally nearby. Love you all. Please stay safe. Let's continue the conversation, okay? Things are going to get better, but they're going to get much worse before they get better, okay? I'm starting to see a shift. I'm starting to see a shift of people, even on the right, starting to be a little bit reasonable. But there's still an overwhelming amount of people that are unreasonable. And it's not even about trying to convince those people that are unreasonable. It's about just continuing for us to voice our opinion on the opposite side and start to grow in numbers like the other side has dominated. They grew to the largest audience in internet history. 80% of them were right-wing extremists, spewing out right-wing propaganda for decades. That's why none of us could survive out here on these platforms unless we were on the right or far right, right? That's why a lot of people that used to be on the left made a switch and pretended to become, conservatives because it was more profitable for them, right? I'm not willing to sell my soul to do that, right? Not willing to sell my soul to do that. But by the opposite side finally coming in and leveling off the playing field, at least we're not quite there yet, but we're getting there. We're getting close to leveling off the playing field with the people on the right. Again, Joe Rogan's number 3 instead of number 1 now. We've got a left-leaning, more progressive, down the middle podcast as number 1, the Midas Touch Network. Joe Rogan's number 3. I can't remember who number 2 is, right? And I'm beginning to see a lot of these right-wing propaganda channels. They're starting to lose traction, and it appears like it's happening slowly, but it's actually rapidly declining. By the way, our stock market keeps going down. Okay, I don't get why these MAGAs can't see the decline in our country having Donald Trump in office. It's going to keep getting worse before it gets better. And I think that's what it's going to take to show these MAGAs that, hey, you want to be conservative, be conservative. But if we don't have the best president running as a conservative, you gotta vote for the better president, whether they're conservative or liberal. I'm a Democrat, but if the better president choice was a conservative or a moderate or an independent, I would vote for the best person. These MAGAs are brainwashed to just live and die their party, or in this case, live and die Trump, and that's pretty fucking pathetic. With that being said, have a good one, take care, and as always, be good to each other. See you all tomorrow. Good night, everyone.